Welcome to the Unit 6. Okay, so last week we went through Unit 5. So that video is available online. So you can actually check that video out. That was shared on the WhatsApp group as well. So you can find the details. Okay, so IGCSE. So you are doing part 2. Now we focus on the last 2 units. So this is one of the largest units. So I think most of the schools, they also started with unit 6 because it takes a long time to work on it, because that's the practical. So now we are going through the beginning, like we are having our Friday class, which is basically focusing on the first to 4, unit 1 to unit 4, and here we focus on unit 5 and unit 6. Okay, so yes, unit 6 is a long unit, it takes some time to do, but just keep this in mind, guys. It is really easy. It all needs is just some practice. Okay, so you just need to practice what is need to be done, and then so my goal is for this particular class, since we started it in January, so for this particular batch, I'm going to merge the unit 6 into the theory and the revision class both. So we'll expand this up to about close to about 4 hours. So then we'll try to cover up as about 3 to 4 hours, where we'll try to cover up as much as possible and finish the unit 6. Okay, so once the unit 6 is done, then we can directly jump into papers, right? Because that's the strategy behind it, because unit 6 is actually very long and it involves a lot of using some simple applications such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Paint, and so on and so forth. I know you guys know this. Yes, perfectly fine. Yeah, but then again, you have to try this out. Yeah, so who is here? Dihani, yes. I think you're the one who called me, right? Sorry. Yeah, I didn't hear you.
I'm DM, sir. Yes,
I.
I'm one.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you guys started from where? So you started from unit 1 or unit 6?
We started from Unit 1.
Unit 1, okay, that's interesting. Okay, most of the schools, they actually start from unit 6, because unit 1 to 4 is entirely theory. Not like we don't have any practical aspect of that. So we just need to write down and go through the theory. And unit 5 and 6 is 5 is again theory. You can watch the video on the YouTube channel. But
Okay.
6 is entirely practical. So, what I can suggest is, if you are interested, then obviously you can join both the classes, or we can start from grade 9. I mean the IGCSE part 1. Okay, and also just to clarify the point, you asked that particular question, because this is actually a question which is being asked from me by multiple students and parents, where now they say, now I'm in grade 10, do I need to join grade 10 class or grade 9 class? So how it exactly works is, it depends on the school, entirely depends on the school. So if you go to an international school, then ideally some schools, they take you up to grade 9, and grade 10 they start IGCSEs. Okay, so that's the ideal pattern which is being given to us, or like set by the Pearson itself. But the thing is, most of the schools, they start IGCSE in grade 9. So what they do is, they start from grade 1 until they go to grade 8, and after they graduate grade 8, they start IGCSE in grade 9. So technically, the reason I have named my classes as 9 and 10 is also because of that reason, because Lyceum and most of the big international schools, they all follow that pattern. But it differs when it comes to government schools. So government or semi-government schools, like your one and like Wesley. So since those schools are aligned with the government curriculum, it's a bit hard now, since you're coming from the government background. you guys will obviously start IGCSEs when you get into grade 10. So that's the typical structure behind the government platform, because then otherwise ideally it should be starting from grade 9. So doesn't matter, it's all good. So still now you guys are the ones who are basically getting the most experience, because since you will be spending more time on school. And by the way, if you do A levels, do you guys have A levels as well? IAL.
Yes, sir.
Ah, okay. That also started this year.
No, sir.
Ah, Edexcel A levels were there before then.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay. So then this is the fresh batch when it comes to IT. Sorry, O levels.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Okay. What are the subjects you are doing?
ICT, global citizenship, the English,
Okay.
math, biology, chemistry, and physics.
Biology, chemistry. Okay, the full all around suit. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so just to give you a brief idea about this module. So what we are going to do is we will be starting from the file management. I know you guys know file management. So as long as you have worked with a laptop or a PC or any sort of an operating system, you know how files work. But let's go in depth, let's dive deep and see how it exactly is. So we'll start from file management, then we go into word processing. Yes, I will be using Microsoft Office. So you have a couple of options for that. So you can either go with if you have Office, then that's perfectly fine. Otherwise you can use something like Open Office, or there's another office tool called LibreOffice. So either one of the office platforms, you have the option of using it. And then we have some graphics. So for the graphics, we are using Microsoft Paint, but there are other tools as well which you can basically use. And we have the presentations. So presentations, it will be mainly focused on PowerPoint, or either one of its own open source counterparts. And this is where the things get a bit complicated when it comes to the web authoring. So this is what we will need to put some time for. So web authoring, I am doing another revision video set for IAL. So for that's sorry IAL AS. So that's A level first year. So they do have the web development part as a complete standalone module. So for them, I am doing a revision class, and those videos will be freely available online. So you can actually check that as well. So here we will be talking something briefly about the web authoring part, but there are some practicals. So then spreadsheets, our good old Excel. So Excel also, you have a couple of options. You can either go with this Microsoft Excel package, Word, Excel, PowerPoint package, or you can go with LibreOffice or OpenOffice, or you have the option of using an online platform as well, something like Google Sheets or Microsoft Office Online. Okay, and then we end up by getting into some database management systems. Okay, perfect. So let's jump in. So I'm going to switch my screens. Nice. I'll be switching my screen, and yeah, you guys should be able to see me, and all good. Okay, so yes, I'll be sitting on this because I need to show you how to do the practical part on the PC itself. Okay, so perfect. So what are we going to learn about this? So in this unit, we'll be talking about all the softwares and the platforms which which you will get questioned for, right? Okay, so just to give you a idea about this, so you know how to do you know how to find papers online? Past papers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. No worries, no worries. So just take a Google search and search for Edexcel IGCSE. Okay, you please do watch the introduction video I did. I shared the links with you. So there I show you. I show how the paper structures and how to go through it. So just to quickly show you how to find this. So search like Edexcel IGCSE. You click on the first link and then you get the Pearson page, and here please be careful, make sure that this international part is there. IGCSE ke දෙකක් තියෙනවා, so we have the international and the IGCSE, but since we are doing the internationals we have to stick there. Okay, and then click on I, and here we get the information and communication technology. Simply click on it and you would see the book, the details. In the previous video I went through these. So there you can on the next point in the exam materials, you have the option of clicking on this, and when you go in you can see the papers here. Okay, so yes, the November paper and the June paper is locked because that's the previous year's papers, but we do get the 2023 and 2024 papers. Okay, so here paper 2. Okay, so all you need to do is just click on the paper, and then you can get the paper version. Perfect. So this is how the paper is structured, and here it says see, now this actually has some files which is being given to you. Okay, so these are called data files. So here you should be able to find the data files as well, I think. So data files are also there. So when you open the data files, they will contain a certain set of specific files which will be used for the specific exam. Okay, so I'll get you all these files. So these papers will be uploaded in the LMS, and you will get access to this as well. So just to go through and just to show you these type of questions. Now here you can see it starts from a particular set of processors. So it asks you to create a logo. See, right? Create a logo, and the logo must be a simple drawing that fits for purpose. Okay, so likewise this is all the second paper is entirely a practical paper, complete from the beginning to the end. So just make sure that you understand the structure. Okay, so watch that video. Now, so that's what I just want to show you. So the reason we are learning this is, now we are going to do the practicals, is because we are, so in the exam itself we have to do it and save it, and then they will basically evaluate according to the work you have done. Okay, so I hope that is clear. And do you have, yeah, do you have Word, Excel, Microsoft Office?
Sorry, sir, what?
Do you have Microsoft Office? Word?
Yeah.
Okay. So all three are working, right? Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, and Excel?
Yeah.
Okay. Then perfect. Nice. Okay. So by the way, I am actually using a Mac, an Apple machine, Mac machine. So the UI and the functionality might change a little bit, but don't worry. Like when it comes to Microsoft, the the application structure is almost the same. Okay, files. So we talk about files. So files and file management. So technically, in your lifetime, when you start using a computer, you will probably create thousands and thousands and thousands of digital files, right? So you basically create files for everything. When you take a picture, when you take a photo, from your mobile phone, or when you start working on a Word document. Let's say you're trying to make a write a letter, or let's say you're trying to create a proposal for a school event, right? So all sorts of things, you will be creating multiple files, right? So there can be a point where you will technically get lost in your files. Okay, there's a chance. Obviously, there's a chance because now, in our case, now when it comes to the industry, we use file managers and tools to basically store our data and to make sure that the data is properly organized. But if you take a simple laptop or your personal PC, then it's actually a bit of a hassle to make it make sure ev- everything is properly organized, right? So in this case, primarily what we need to know is when it comes to saving work, we just need to make sure that whatever you do is regularly saved. Okay, now this is something which I have seen. When I lecture at universities, this is something which I probably hear a couple of times a year. So some students, they give a call and say, "අනේ sir file එක save වුණා, මේ file එක නැති වෙලා, file එකක් damage වෙලා." Or they say, "sir file එක save කරන්න." Because I did all the work but it hasn't saved. Okay, so I know they haven't done the work, that's a different story, but they blame the PC that the file has not been saved. Right? So saving work is something very important, right? When you're using, if you're creating a digital product, it's extremely important that you save whatever the work you do, and you have to do that on regular basis, because you can't just do something, edit and just let it be, right? So at the same time, this will make sure that if something happens, your file will not get damaged. Example is, about yeah about 10 years, about some time ago, and while I was working at one of my previous offices, there was a power fluctuation, and that one power fluctuation damaged one of my files which I was working on for a very long time. Okay, and it completely damaged the file, and that file was not even recoverable. So that's a problem. So while you're working, if the file is not saved, then you're going to lose the content, as well as there is a chance, sorry, yeah, there is a chance for the system to get corrupted as well. So අපි බලමු මේකට මොකක්ද තියෙන solution එක කියලා. හරි. So this so technically what you need to do is, whatever you do, you need to make sure that you save the task. Okay, now in simple terms, now we do get some activities to follow up. So let's just try this out and see. So what this says is, so it's basically ask you to create a file. So create a new word processor document and save the document with the file name time. Okay, so there are multiple ways to do this. So you can either use a mouse to save the file, and you use the mouse cursor to do it, or you have the option of doing that using a keyboard shortcut, right? So obviously it's the keyboard shortcut is extremely fast and easy, because now in Windows the keyboard shortcut is Control S, as you know, Control S for save, and Mac OS the keyboard shortcut is the command button and X. Okay, so let's try this out. So if we open up a file, so I'm just opening up a document. Hello, this is a simple document created to test the saving, test the file saving. saving process. Okay. Now, in the latest versions of Word and almost all the Office tools, you will find this particular option on top. You will find this option called auto save. Okay, so sometimes this is turned on by default, but sometimes it's not. So if it is on, whatever the change you do, that will get automatically saved. So that's why nowadays you don't have to worry that much, and you don't tend to like keep on saving it, because now it automatically saves. Okay, so now what's the process of saving? Now we have two ways, right? So either I can press command and S, or control and S. So let's see what happens. So if I press this, I'm going to get the save option, right? So I get the pop-up option. So that's the fastest method to do. If not, then yes, we do have another version where you can you can take your cursor, you can click on go to file and click on file, and then you get the option of saving the file as save as. Okay, so here when save as or save, either both options are there. So if you click on save, then still you get the same pop-up window asking for the name. So let's call this as time, since here it is basically asking you to create a file called time. And yes, you save it and done perfectly. So the file is saved. So if I open this up in my Explorer, you guys can see that the file has been saved now. Okay, I know it's quite simple stuff to do, but these you get questions similar to this. So now you can see, now since this file is saved, now you actually have this option to turn this on. So yeah, okay, so there is a point in this. So since I am not saving this file into the cloud, okay, cloud means the cloud storage. We will learn about cloud in our unit 3 about how clouds and cloud servers works. But just to put this in a nutshell, cloud is basically the point where this is getting saved into a foreign, like another server. So whatever the changes you do will be pushed into the cloud. Cloud එකට ඔක්කොම කරන හැම පොඩි change එකක්ම cloud එකට push වෙනවා. හරි. එහෙම තමයි system එක ලේසියෙන්ම වැඩ කරන්නේ. ඉතින් now මේක on කරොත් what happens is then all your changes will get pushed to the cloud. The reason this autosave is there is for another major problem, because now ඔය cloud එකට දානකොට internet තියෙන්නේ බෑ. Without the internet you can't access the cloud, right? So that's why we have this autosave feature. So whenever if internet is not there, it will automatically retry, and it will wait until the internet connection is found, and it will save it. Okay, nice. Okay, now we know how to save a file. Then let's check out one more thing. So I think this must be something new for you guys, because protecting a file. So let's say you're writing a letter to someone and you want it to be protected. කියමු කාටරි හොරෙන් ලියුමක් යවන්න ඕනේ කියලා. දැන් ඕක යවන්න විදිහක් නැහැනේ. ඕක password protect කරන්න පුළුවන් ලේසි විදිහ තමයි you can open up the Word, and this has two different methods of doing this. So in Windows, Microsoft Office, this should be in a different point. I think sorry, I think I mispronounced your name. Can you tell me how to pronounce your name properly?
Dehane.
Dehane.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, it's too small, so yeah, no worries. So, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Yeah, Dehane. So, can you try this out in Word? So, just check. now when you open up a document in Word, you should be able to have the password feature. But in the Macintosh version, in the Mac version, the password feature is under reference. Hi, references we have this feature called sorry, not references. It's under review. Review we have this feature called protect. In Windows, can you check this feature? So it should be ideally inside file, info, and protect document.
Yeah, I checked it.
Oh, okay. It's inside the file, info, protect document, right?
Yeah.
Nice, perfect. Okay, Dihan. That's what I just wanted to check. Okay, yeah. So that's how it works. So now when it comes to the password protection, how it works is you do have few options. So you can either protect a document or so you get two options. Either you can set up a password to open this document, or you can set up a password to modify the document. Both options are there. So let's say if I add a password to open the document, so I'll say QWE, and if I save this, it's basically asking to confirm the password QWE, and okay, done, save. Okay, now if I close this, we'll save. And if I open this up, so you can see that this padlock icon is visible now. So if I open this up, see, immediately I'm going to get the password to open it. So I'm going to put QWE and open. Perfect, it works. Okay, so let's try the second one. So I'm again going into the protect document, and I'm going to remove this password, and I'm going to add a password for the modification. Okay, so let's say 123 and save, and 123 and save. Okay, now let's see what happened. So now if I save, see, now the padlock icon went away. So if I try to do a quick view, you can see the file can be viewed now, right? But let's see what happens if I open this. Now when you're opening it, it says it's reserved by Vipula Sir, and it says enter the password to modify this document, or it gives you an option to open as read only. So simply you click on open as read only. Now this file is opened, but here you can see now Word is giving up a warning saying to save a copy of this document. So you can't edit this now. See, it says it's read only. So the option what Word is giving is to change something. It basically asks you to save a copy of this document. So you can click on duplicate and you can create a copy, or you can actually copy the text as well. So you can copy paste it. That's perfectly fine, but you cannot edit. Okay, so that's the thing. Now if I go into review and protect, now see, I can't change the password settings also. So technically it's completely locked. Okay, that's how you do this. So let me unlock it, 1 2 3, and if I go to review and if I do this and remove the password, okay, now it's done. So if I open this up back again after saving, now everything works perfectly. All clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So this is what we just went through. Okay, now the naming of files. This is the major problem when it comes to people when naming files. Okay, so here nowadays actually with the new systems, they actually give you a proper file name. Example is, if you take Word, okay, so I'm just going to close this and let's open another Word, and if I add something, let's say if I create another document as hello, okay, and when I go to save, see, the save as, it is actually taking as hello. So what it does is, now these systems are intelligent enough, they basically read the content and it predicts that this guy will need this particular title. Okay, or it predicts that this guy will use this title. So what exactly happens is, now back in the day, these titles were something like untitled document. Okay, it was like untitled document. So it was a massive problem. I think hold on. I think we should be able to get that. No, let me remove the content and let's try to save it. Yeah. So see, now it goes as doc. Okay. In the previous versions of Word, it went as untitled document. Okay, Prashadya make it then doc1. Right? So let's say if I save this as doc1. Now I am going to write a letter. So this is a letter for someone. Okay. Now it's saved. Okay. Now if I close this, now you are lost. So we have a file name called doc, and it's really practically impractical for you to find it, right? So this is a massive problem. You know what? Microsoft came up with the solution for this problem.
I don't have any.
Do you have the Microsoft Copilot?
Yeah.
Does it work with the history mode?
I haven't checked it.
Okay, I'll show you something. Microsoft Copilot. Um, Introducing Copilot plus PC. Hold on. I'm just trying to find the common language, everyday AI. So Copilot Copilot has a history system. Okay, so how it does is, now whatever the whatever the text you work on the screen, Copilot will basically read it and understand it. Okay, and then see Copilot chat history. So, and then it will basically show you a history of what you have done so far. So I know it's a bit scary because I don't know whether that's a good thing to do. But then again, that would basically keep track of things, and then it will let you know what you did. Copilot laptop. Okay, what's the laptop? The Surface laptop. Okay, hold on. I can't find the Surface. Hold on. Yeah. Yes. Okay, this is the one. Okay, so let me show you what Microsoft did. So, like using the Microsoft Copilot, they actually added a Copilot history feature. Okay, so here, this particular history. See, now you search for something, you can actually search for a name here. Okay, so this guy is searching an orange couch. Okay, so see, it basically shows you all the pages, websites, documents, images, emails, and tabs, and so whatnot, whatever you have visited throughout that period in a search period. See, so see, now when you search as a orange couch, you get that as a result. Okay, so now you understand why this is actually a problem, right? So now when it comes to files also, it's a massive problem because when you don't name it properly, then it's going to be really hard for people to find. Not my people, for you itself, it's going to be very hard to find it, right? Okay, so here we learn something new. Now here we learn this word called, so in the industry, in the software industry, this is something which we all already use every day. So we have this case called snake case. Okay, so learn the word. It's known as snake case. Okay, so using snake case, what it does is this will basically allow you to create a sentence or a name with the particular spaces. See, this will make basically put the spaces in between and let you create a word. Okay, so that's how this system is, file system or naming system is recommended. So this is how it's going to work out. Now example is, now let's say if we are creating a poster for the city sports club summer, which is going to happen in summer 2018, then we can actually set it as the product name, and we have the file name, and here there will be a reason, so that for the city sports club this is the file, right? So when you add the file name with the snake case, it's actually a little bit hard to read, sorry, it reduces the complexity, but it sometimes it's a bit hard to read, but then again when you have multiple files it's going to be really easy, right? So why I am saying this is, when it comes to versioning, now you can see we can go forward with something like this. Right, so let's say, okay, so let's say I'm writing this letter. Okay, now I'm going to save this, so I'm going to go and save as, which since I'm going to rename this again, so I'm going to save as, let's say, school letter v1. Okay, now I'm working on the letter. Okay, now so after doing a big change, now let's say I want to save this as another version. So for that I can use the, again I can use the save as feature, and I can use it as v2, right? So what happens is, see, now you can see the versions are there, right? So that's a easy way for us to version the documents. Hope it's clear. All good, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you create documents for school?
Sometimes.
Okay. What are the clubs you are in?
What's it?
I mean, what are the clubs you are part of?
Yeah, Astronomy Club and the Aerospace Club.
Aerospace club. Okay. What is the aerospace club? What do they do?
Uh, they they are just searching that telling about the astronauts and such those things.
Ah,
They are doing the practicals such as making some making some rockets so from the bottles and like they just do
okay.
practicals.
Okay, so is it like some, does it have some sort of affiliation with the government or the Air Force, or is it?
Uh, I don't have an idea about that, but the Air Force also came one time and they just show some thing,
Okay.
some presentations.
Okay. That's nice. Huh? Good to hear. Okay, that's interesting. Perfect. That's good. Okay. So that's great. So now jumping back to the versioning thing. So as I showed you, so you have different versions of different methods of creating the versions, and at the same time, now here if you take this something like this, you could also kind of include a specific date or a build number. Okay, so example is, let's say, this is something very not exactly being followed in when you're creating documents and all, but then again, not, I mean, not creating school documents obviously, but let's say if you are creating some documents for a lawyer or to a law firm where they need to keep proper index of all the work you have done so far, then yes, then obviously you can go forward with something like this. So here in this example, you can see we have few options. So we have the version, and here we have a revision also. I mean, the revision is what was the, like, when this was created. So it can be the first revision or it can be the second revision, right? Likewise, and then on top of it, we do have a build date. So build date means like when was this exactly built, and then we have a build number, which will be the event. So a build date is basically, don't get confused about the name. Build date කියන්නේ just the name where the file was when the file was created. That's it. And the build number is the number within the series of versions that the file was created. හිතන්නකෝ අපි දැන් if we are creating a file today, and in that file, let's say we create 5 different versions. Each version then will be a build, right? So since it's February 1st, it would be 01/01/25, right? Something like that. Or according to this date timestamp, it will be 25/01/01 dot the build number. So it will be, so let's try that out. So let's say you have done some sort of a court case, and this is an official letter. Okay, now when you save this, what you do is you go with something like this. So let's say one can be the ID, let's say 2 can be another ID, and then we go with the build date 25/01/01, and then we can say this is the first revision or the first build. Okay, and then it would look something like this. And then let's say if we have let's say this is some sort of official document. We'll say our customer is John, and then can say John has 1, 2, and couple of bills like that. See, we can do something like that. So depending on the type of build, we can create instances. Okay, so that's the idea behind the revisions and versions. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope you don't have any question. Nice. Okay, so then that's about the builds and the structures. Now we jump into folders. So folders, I'm going to go through this very quick. So folders, it's again same structure of file names, or the same way you should rename the files, but be careful when you're naming it. Just make sure that you are in a proper structure. So you don't keep everything on your desktop, period, and you don't keep things in your C drive or standalone drives, because you want your things to be exactly structured. That's the ideal method of getting things done. Now, give me 1 second. Yeah, so here you can see this is my personal directory. So we can actually delete these things. There are some there are some other stuff. So you can see when it comes to the folders, I have the folders very properly structured. So we have I have my movies, public folders, postman. These are some software folders, and downloads, applications, and likewise. So in those, you need to make sure that you properly keep the structure and work in that particular way. Okay. So now in the exam also it will basically ask you to come up with a specific set of structures at some points. Window, cool. Hold on. Yeah, so here it says in the papers, it actually tells you where to find these files. So it will say this has to be in a specific folder, uh, a folder, and they will say that when you are saving it, you have to make sure that you save it in the proper folder structure which they ask you to save it into. So hold on, I'll just do a search for folder, images folder. See, so they basically ask, so now in this question it says include 3 appropriate images from the image folder and position them in the design. Now that is when it comes to the web development part, no? But in this case, even when it comes to the website, you have to be precise on how you call the folders and how you put the, or where you put the content into. Okay, so we'll learn about that. Don't. So yeah, that's just the point I want to show. Nice. Okay, jumping back to this. Then we jump into file formats. Okay, so file formats are something special when it comes to um, reading. Sorry, from applications to reading files. So, Ian, any idea about file formats? Why do we need formats? මොකටද අපිට ෆයිල් ෆෝමැට්ස් ඕනේ?
For example, if you need to convert that for a PDF or something.
No, not exactly. Okay, tell me some file formats you know.
PDF, Words, and then PowerPoint.
PowerPoint is not a file format. The file format of a PowerPoint file is PPTX.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, what about others like MP4, MP3, MPEG, video files? And what type of files do you execute? ෆයිල් එකක් ඩබල් ක්ලික් කරලා රන් කරනවා නම් මොකක්ද ඒකේ තියෙන ෆයිල් ෆෝමැට් එක?
Word format?
Word නෙමෙයි. Now let's say, okay, let's say if you have a application on your machine, what should be the file format for you to double click and run the app? මොකක්ද පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ? අයියෝ, yes. It should be an executable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the file has to be an executable, that means an exe file. So if you want to run a file, it has to be an exe file. And there are various now types of different files. Okay, so now we don't go in depth into files, but I will just since you guys need to understand the background of this. So a file extension or a file format is basically a binary format. Right? So what it does is, now, okay, so our softwares, what they do is they try to read these files. Right? Now when it comes to a file, what you have is just a set of binary information, right? Just some bits, or like binary, let's say compiled. Either it can be some compiled code, or it can be some binary text in it, right? So that's what you have inside a typical file. So file formats allows you to differentiate the different types of files according to whatever the software which you are using. Okay, that's the whole reason behind file formats. Example is that if you take a let's say if you take a Word file, the Word file has a generic file format which is known as doc, D-O-C, right? And the newer versions of Word, they introduce another file format known as docx, docx. So if I go into save as, you can see now the default version, the current version, the latest version, it is getting saved as docx. But see, you do get the option. Huh? So you do have the option. Now here you can see we get the old version as well, which is known as doc, which was what we used from 1997 until 2004. Okay, and then we have this thing called word templates. So that these are some a set of templates which we can use. That goes as dotx, .x, and old templates are known as dot. And at the same time, we do have few other file formats as well. And yes, Microsoft Word allows you to save and edit web pages also. That's why we have the HTML, and yeah, that's why we have the HTML. And at the same time, there are some specialty formats as well, which I'm not going to go in depth, but just do some research on these if you get a chance, and you get the option of saving it. And well, you might have used this. We have the PDF as well. Okay, so the idea behind the file formats is, so these file formats, they actually store a certain set of details according to the file. So the doc file එකක් කියන්නේ docx file එකක් කියන්නේ ඒ ෆයිල් එක ඇතුලේ ඒ ඔක්කොම data ටික තියෙනවා according to the format of a document file. So that's a standard doc or standard file. Let's say හරි අපි දෙන්න දැන් හිතමුකෝ අපි දෙන්න හදනවා කියලා මේ මොකක් හරි word process එකක්. Okay, let's say both of us are working on building a office platform, okay, something similar to Microsoft Office. Then can we create our own file format? What do you think? අපි දෙන්න නෑ අපි doc නෑ අපි හදනවා අපේ එකක් කියලා හදන්න පුළුවන්. What do you think? Can or cannot?
Can.
Exactly, cannot. Yes. පුළුවන් අපි දෙන්න හදාගන්න පුළුවන්. But if we try to sell this, then it's going to be a problem unless we give some sort of an extra feature. Because then let's say if that application uses a specific format, not a like which is outside the international recognized formats, then let's say you send this file to one of your friends in a different country, then you will have to send the application also. කියන්න අනේ මචං මේ ඕක මම මගේ software එක හැදුවේ උඹ මේක install කරගන්න එතකොට මේක බලන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. That's going to be a problem, right? You can't send the software with the document. So that's why we use internationally recognized, like the global standard file formats. Example is so that is for the doc, and for the next example is if you take a camera, what's the file format which comes from a camera? මොකක්ද දෙන්නේ? What would be the file format you get from a camera itself?
PNG?
You get PNGs, yes, as well as what else?
JPEG.
JPEGs, exactly, JPEGs. Okay, so let me show you what is there in a JPG. Hold on, I'm trying to find a picture of my dog. Give it a second. Come here. Give it a second. I'm just trying to find a good image. Okay, let's get this one. Okay, so if you look at this picture, now this is a JPG. Okay, so this has some high quality in it as well, where you can actually go through the details. Now, now this is an image file, but now as we discussed about the doc file, here you have an option. So if you click on I, now you can see some specific details about this photo. So these are, so in an image, this is known as an EXIF data, known as EXIF data. So here you can see add a title. So the title can be added. See, you get the camera. So it has been taken from this iPhone, and even the camera details are there. See, the main camera, and it's the focal length 1.78 sorry, 24 mm, 1.78 f-stop. This is the size, the ISO, and all the details. See, and this is actually something which is being analyzed by the Apple image engine, where it will basically where it detects that this guy is there in the picture, and it will basically show all the related photos, people and pets, and it will show you the location as well. So the reason you can see the location is also because why that information is saved, that information is there in the image. So if you take this one, I know he loves to sleep inside the bedroom because the AC is on. Okay, so if you take this one, see, you can see the location, you have the time, and this is being taken from a different phone, obviously, and you have the details. Okay, got the idea? Got the idea why we need the file formats now? All good now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
super. So, and I can't show you a video file. I don't have anything with me at the moment, but video files also works the same way. So they do have the method of saving the details, and it works. Perfect. Okay. So since we know the file formats, then we need to make sure we know about the file management. So file management, nothing, no rocket science. It's just about knowing what type of files you will be using, as well as then you need to know how to properly name them. Okay, now here, so now see, I think you saw a similar question in the previous exam paper also. So you get these type of questions. Our example is, if we get this one, which one of these is the most sensible file name for a logo created for a school? මොකද හිතන්නේ? හොඳම file name එක. What do you think?
See?
C, exactly, 100% correct. Yes, because logo one is off, we don't know. Final logo, okay, okay. Then maru I used to work in multiple, like when I was working in the industry, I used to work with multiple teams. So graphic designers තමයි මරු එකට කරන්නේ හරි. මුන් දැන් ඩිසයින් එකක් හදනවා. මූ දානවා final. හරි. ඊට පස්සේ then there's another design, final. Then we have another version, final version 2. Then after some time, final version 2. So ultimately කවුල්ලක් දීලා අහන්න ඕනේ ওই මොකද්ද final එක කියලා. ඒ ඔක්කොම final. මිනිහට කතා කරාම he says take the final, that's the final one. So yeah, everything is final. So that's something which that's a massive problem when it comes to the industry, when you don't know, when you don't put any sensible names into it. So that's why you guys learn that right now itself, so that you won't make that mistake once you get into the industry. Okay, yes, perfect, good answer, thanks, and it's good. And now you almost know how to answer these questions, right? So here, this is also just a tricky one. So remember this part. Describe how a user could use a major revision, build date and build number file format. That's the file format which we basically created. So the major is the category and the revision is the revision, then that particular revision number. Then you get the build date and then the build number. Okay, that is what we learned here. Okay, so see, these are getting questioned. Remember these points. You do you have the textbook with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you need the soft copy also? I can send you the soft copy if you
Uh,
want.
I have the junior books.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. If you want, just send me a message. I do have a soft copy also with me, so
Okay,
I
sir.
can share it. Nice. Okay.
Okay.
So if you have the book, can you may highlight this point? When make a product mark කරගන්න කොහොමද? Because
Okay, sir.
this, yeah, because you get questions from this man. That's why. So that is on the page 205. 205 under the figure 14.2. Okay, just highlight this section so that you will know that when you're studying again, just to go through it.
Okay, sir.
Perfect. Okay. Nice. Okay. So we talked about. So we ironed out the base. The base. So now we are jumping into word processing. Okay. So word processing. Simple softwares which we started using from the early 80s. Okay. So ideally, another kata thing. Most of these machines, computers, they actually started because of they were upgraded because of office stuff, right? Because people wanted versions. Okay, so like this is a good story. So about HTML. So HTML, the person who invented HTML, this was actually because of his own requirement. So this Tim Berners-Lee, he was he was a let's say a scientist who was working at a something related to uh, nuclear and nuclear stuff. So what happened was this guy. So back in 2000 and 1993, um, there was an actual problem. So he was doing research and he didn't had a way of sharing his research documents with his peers. Okay, just think if we are working now, I find something and I want to share that with you, right? So if there's no way to do that, then it's a problem, right? So then now we have so many collaborative tools, collaboration tools where we can work collaboratively. Now we have a lot of different types of tools, but back then it was actually a big problem. So what this guy did was we had this thing called XML. We'll learn about this once we jump into HTML. So this guy used the XML language and he did a rewrite and he created something called HTML, hypertext markup language. Right? So then HTML was born, and somewhere in 2010, 2015, this new version came out, and now we are having this call online with all these technologies uh, improved, right? Okay, so now even for this thing, word processing also, this is the same thing because people wanted to enter words and save it and run different types of create different types of documents. So that's why word processing came out to be. But now it's very powerful and we do have multiple different tools, including we have massively improved online tools where technically now you do not need a software installed on your laptop to basically do that, because about 90% of the time you can actually get it done through an online website. Okay, so the learning objective is quite simple. It's like about editing editing text, bullets, tables, layouts, and adding single column charts, and so on and so forth. So let's dive in. I am going to take you through each and every point because there can be people who do not know these terms and keywords. So I'm going to go through each and everything. So we'll cover this up, but I'm going to go through it a little bit fast. Okay, so you can refer to this video back again because since these are like too simple, I'm not going to go very in depth. Okay, perfect. Okay, now let's start by opening a blank Word document and we'll see what this is. Nice, perfect. Okay, so first of all, enter and editing text. Okay, enter and edit text. So when you open a word processing application, it will obviously give you a blank document, right? And in the blank document, what you will see is the main item, which is going to be the cursor. Okay, so this cursor is the point which will be like showing you where the text is going to be entered. Okay, so Dihan, have you seen an old typewriter?
No.
මේකක් දැකලා නැද්ද?
In films I have seen, but in real life I don't.
Okay, okay. So here, so this is actually the cursor. I mean, not like this. A nice, not a. Don't we have a clear image? Okay, let's open this one. Nice. Okay, this is the cursor. Within when the pointer. So ideally, that is going to be the cursor. So how it works is when you have this entire set of keys. So let me okay, let's open this one. Nice. Okay. Oh, sorry. I of course know this by heart because we had typewriter we had typewriters at home. My father used to refill this. So you buy this tape and then you can put ink into the tape and you can refill it. Okay, so technically this is the cursor, and how these old relics how they worked was when you press a key. Can you see there's this keys here? May take a may. Okay, so these are
Yes.
the keys. Okay, so these are the keys, and now in our laptop keyboards we have the shift button. So when you press shift, automatically you can get the capital, right? This is the same thing. This is not a, yeah. See, you can, so just check Y. Y. So simple Y and capital Y. So when you press the Y button, what happens is this will come up and hit the tape which has the ink in it, and here we will have the paper. So whatever the paper, so it will basically hit the ink and it will imprint that ink into the paper. Simple as that. That's how it works. So when you keep on typing, the paper moves. So every time when you press a letter, this becomes, so this comes up and hit into that cursor point, and the paper, this whole tube kind of thing, we call it the main roller. So this roller moves. So that's why you keep on typing and then you move it aside and then you jump to the next line. Okay. Now you need to know how a typewriter worked before you learn the word processor. Now here also the same thing. So what we do is we type. So we type, let's say we type it like this, and now we are at the end, and now here word processors are intelligent, so they automatically move to the next line. But ideally at this point you will have to press enter, and then you'll have to go to the next one. So if I did this as a key, as a typewriter, as in a typewriter, I would be, when this reached, then there's a small sound, ting, gara sadhyak kena, meka වැදුනහම. Then you have to press enter. Okay, so that's where the whole concept about the cursor came out to be. So now the cursor gives you few options. So the cursor, now in the old days you can't go back and forth. So if something, you can go back and forth, but you can't edit, no. So then you'll have to get some Tipex or something and slowly wipe it off, and then you can type it again. But now here in this case, so if I add this, now if I want to add some text here, I do have the option of selecting the text specifically, right? So this cursor will allow you to select and edit and do whatever the actions, perform whatever the actions you want with the content you have. So here, so when I double click, it will automatically select whatever that particular word. If I click and drag, that would also that would also allow me to select the word, as well as if I want to add some text in between, like even in between characters, we can actually click and put something like this, right? Something like that. Okay, so both works, but like all actions works. So now simple buttons, set of buttons, you guys perfectly know what this is. So return will come up with a new line, and space is obviously adding a space in between, and the caps lock is basically setting the keys to the capital mode. Okay, so for that, මෙන්න මෙතන තිබ්බා caps lock එක. මේ තියෙන්නේ කො මේ තියෙන්නේ shift lock එක. හරි. So this was, so in the typewriter we used to call this the shift lock. So you have the shift key, and what you do is you lock the shift. මේක වැඩ කරන හැටි දැක්කද? When you press this down, මෙන්න මේ lock එක වැටෙනවා. හරි? So when you press this down, this comes down and this gets locked. And then when you want to release it, you either so release it, you have to again press this button and unlock it. Until then, the shift is active. So that means whatever you type will be typed in the same using the upper set of letters, which is going to be capital. So same thing happens in the word processors. So you have the caps lock, and when you press the caps lock, that means the uppercase letters are locked. Then we have the backspace. So backspace is basically to come back or remove the text, right? So whatever you add, the cursor, what it does is, so when I'm pressing backspace, the cursor automatically moves back. And the thing is, it will also erase the text, right? See, it will change the text. Then we have the delete button. So the delete button, be careful, in Mac OS, in Mac machines, Apple machines, the delete is actually not the delete. So we don't have a button called delete. What we have is just the backspace, and the backspace is known as the delete. Okay, don't get this confused. So this is only in Macs, only in Macs. So in the Mac keyboard, there is no delete button. The backspace is the delete button. But in Windows machines, we do have the backspace and the delete button both. Okay. Then we have the shift. So we already discussed what the shift is, and at the same time, we do have another set of actions, which is known as the insert. So the insert is again a feature where it will basically let you insert text by over typing on the text itself. Okay, so now hold on, give me 1 second. I'm also now confused now. Insert is technically, insert option is actually we don't use that. Yeah, we don't have a insert option in Mac, so we don't. So in the Mac OS it doesn't actually support. So but in Windows, let's say if you press something here, and if you have insert enabled, then when you type something, then it will automatically change the text. Okay. Nihan, can you try it out?
Okay.
Does it overwrite? What happens?
What should I use? Insert and
Yeah, so open up a word, type some
yeah.
text, okay? So some text, and now just a select in front of a text block, right? Something like this,
Okay.
and then press the insert button. Keyboard. In your keyboard, you should have an insert button. You are using a Windows machine, right?
Yeah, but
Perfect.
there we don't have anything like that.
You don't have an insert button?
Yeah.
How come? You should have an insert button.
That's me. Enter.
No, no, no. Tell me your laptop model.
Uh, HP.
HP. Okay, what's the model?
Mm.
Yes. Can you tell me the model by any chance?
It's I need to find that. This is my mother's laptop.
Ah, okay. No problem, no problem. No, it should have it. Laptop keyboard. See, HP laptops. Do you have a longer keyboard like this? Is it a long keyboard?
Yeah.
Okay, so check on the top here whether you have that insert button.
No, sir.
പുതുമ തീയന്നെ. Okay. Okay.
There is delete button next to the home, and
Okay.
next to the N, and PG up and PG down.
Okay. Okay. So ideally the insert button should be there, but then it can be merged with some sort of another button on the top. It can be merged with. Anyway, okay, perfect, no problem. It changes based on the keyboard only, keyboard and the version. So no worries about it. Perfect. Okay, so that's so you do have the insert. So if you have if you have that insert button, and if you press the insert button, then you jump into the overtype mode. So when it comes to the overtype mode, that means if you type here something, it will get overwritten. So that is how. Give me 1 second. Strip down preferences. Edit. Um. Yeah, there is a way. There is a way. Insert, and it says overtype mode. I have never tried it though. I never got a chance, like a real reason to try that out. So yeah, okay. Anyway, we'll see. But if you guys find that, please let me know how to do it. Then we can try it out. But on a Windows machine, it's just straightforward. Like if you press the insert button, then it should work. Okay, and then quickly jump into the next one. We have the tab. So the tab is basically used to indent, right? So the same thing here. So you can say text some. You can get a text part, and if you press the tab, it will automatically jump. Okay, so this will allow you to space the text according to the whatever the number of tabs you need. Okay, so this is nothing to not similar to the space, but this will basically create or let you create the tabs and go through that particular layout whenever you want. Okay, so that's about the tab. Then we have the indentation markers. Okay, so since we talked about the tab, now we need to jump into the indent marker, where now you will see why this tab is important. So in your Word, what you need to do is you need to click on view, and in the view you have these three options called the ruler, the guidelines, and a navigation pane. Okay, so these three are basically three different options which will allow you to kind of not allow, which will make your life much easier by giving you some guidelines. Okay, so guidelines, it works like this. So it basically draws a grid on top of the paper so that you can see look at the grid. So I'm just going to stop the guidelines, and navigation pane is, again, as you know, that would basically create a side navigation pane which will show all the pages. So I'm going to stop that as well, but I'm going to leave the the rulers intact. Okay, so let's see how it works. So if I press 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm just pressing the tab bar. See, now you can see, uh, let's go with single characters. Yeah, so you can see the spaces. Okay, now see the resemblance with the exact position on top. See, this is how it works. So we do have, so the in system by default it gives you a certain set of indentation markers like this. Okay, so these markers allows you to structure the content according to your particular indentation. Example is like this. Okay, so why we need this is due to a specific reason. Let's say if we are creating a user profile, name, okay, age, gender, let's say address. Okay, now this is a bit off, right? I mean the way this colons are, right? So what you can do is you can actually tab this, and when you tab it, you can see it automatically jumps into one of the columns. See? Oops, sorry. Oh. See? When I click on this, you can see that it jumps into a specific column, and in that column, that is how the indentation is made of. Okay, so now if you want to move this, you can actually move it to another place as well. So all you need to do is you just need to no, you'll have to do that manually. So you can just type, see, when you tab, it will automatically jump to the next position. Okay, so this is why we need the indentation in a way so that we can structure the content. Okay, So we really need this. So let's say if we are creating something like a form, just to make sure the form is properly listed down or properly structured, we need to do something like this. See, now it's really looking good. See, now if I space this out, it almost good. Don't mind the red color underlining. That's basically part of my spell checking tool, which we are going to talk about next. Right? Okay. So, Nihen, is this is all clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nice. Perfect. Okay. So then we jump into the other part where we talked about spelling, punctuation, and grammar. SPAG. Okay, SPAG. Okay, so spelling, punctuation, and grammar. All the new editors they do come in built with these features. They give you lots of different, let's say, features where it will basically analyze and understand and show you errors. So in this case, we are going in depth into Microsoft Word's inbuilt error or this punctuation checking module. Okay, so how it works is this will basically highlight errors or like text errors mainly, and then if there are some specific punctuation marks missing or let's say grammar errors, then this will automatically identify that as well. So how it works is under under so sorry under review you have few options. Okay, so under review you have an option called spelling and grammar. So I'm going to show you something which is not actually being discussed here. So before doing this, guys, you have to make sure that your language is properly set. Okay, now there's a problem. Now here when you go to tools and when you go to the language section, okay, there your language has to be properly set. So here the language is by default set as US. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so language is by default set as US, but here what we need is we can change it to whatever the language which we are currently using. Okay, so we can change it to, we don't have singular by the way, but we can change it to let's say English UK, and we can set it to go. And let me delete this and let's type something. So let's say the color of your dress looks nice. Okay, so now here it says this word is incorrect. Yeah, but we have a problem. This is technically not incorrect. Okay, so since the language US is selected, in US this is how you write color. COLOR. Okay, sorry, COLOUR. No, sorry, COLOR. This is how you write color. Okay, let me turn off this Grammarly. Grammarly is kind of fighting with both sides. Okay, so okay, just so I do have a grammar tracking tool called Grammarly installed. That's why this thing is highlighted, because in Grammarly I have set my default language as UK English. Okay, that's why this is getting highlighted. But now here, if I change my language by going into tools and language, and if I change this to UK and press OK, you should be able to see. Why isn't this getting changed? It's got changed. Right? I'll make this default and OK. See, now immediately that underlining went off. So now the page is now if you look at this, now the US English version is underlined, right? That's how this thing works. So be careful. This is something which people don't tell you, but keep in mind when you're setting up the checking for grammar. First of all, make sure you have selected the proper language. Okay. Now, perfect. So spelling and grammar. Now since we have set the language as UK English or the British English, now we can click on this and now you can see the spellings and grammar errors. See, on the top it says UK English, English UK, and it will basically show you a certain set of suggestions. Here it says, I'm just checking the difference. Yeah, so we do have couple of differences in this. So when you go into this one, here it actually gives you a simple view, but in Windows I think the layout is a bit different. Okay, but don't worry, it's the same thing. So here, since this has detected that there are errors in it, it will automatically suggest you and show you all the available errors. So here in this case, it's basically the error is with the color. So you can do is you can click on change and look at this. So when I change, it will automatically update and you're going to get the message saying spelling and grammar check is complete, and voila, all the errors are done, and save. Okay, so that's how it works. Now in my case I am using Grammarly, so this is a different tool. So you guys can also install it. There's a free version obviously, and this actually gives you a bit of a different edge. Okay, so let me show you something. Let's make some mistakes. Over the okay, so I made some mistakes in the text. Now here, now you can see, so if you look closely, you should be here, you should be able to see two underlines, right? But now let's try out the Grammarly's one. So Grammarly's one, when you move your mouse over the text, it automatically shows you the spelling, right? So it detected this is incorrect and it gives me the option. So all I need to do is just click on this, just like that it works. Okay, and here sleeping also it detected, and okay, now here it says to remove the comma. Okay, that's also good. Okay, now here okay, now see, now Grammarly was actually able to detect that it should be over. But let's see, I think Microsoft Windows couldn't find it. Office couldn't find it. See, the Office suggestions are not clear. Can you so see? So that's why I'm actually using a paid version of Grammarly, because Office is good, perfectly fine, but it does not have that much of a power of exactly understanding and giving you the suggestion. So here, this just like that it fix you. Okay, super, perfect. Any questions? All clear?
No, sir. In my computer also, I have that issue.
That over got fixed, is it?
No, the Grammarly.
You're using Grammarly also. Perfect. Okay, that's great. That's great. Yeah, Grammarly is free, right? You can. So the free version works with all these things, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yes, I think in the paid version you get some few options like plagiarism, and you have a chat bot. There is some way you can ask some questions. When you move your mouse over, you have this thing called Grammarly Assistant. So here you can actually ask some Tell it to, yeah, okay, so I can say improve it. Say, the quick brown fox leaped over the sleeping dog. So it's giving an improvement. So if I click on insert, then that's getting inserted, uh, replacing the text. Like, guys. Okay. So those are the simple options you get with Grammarly paid version. Left. Okay. Super. Okay. All clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Nice. Okay. So then we jump into formatting. So formatting is again something totally common, but all you need to do is get your eyes used to these set of icons, because these icons are technically universal icons. So these formatting sides, these signs, those are like wherever you go, whatever the application you will be using, this sign will not change. Okay, it will be as it is. So here you can see two applications. One is the LibreOffice and the other one is Microsoft Office. And even if you use like any sort of an online editor, any tool, these items will be the same. Okay, now let's quickly jump in and see. So we have the paragraph bullet points. So bullet points, straightforward bullet points, we know that how to like we know that we use it when it comes to a list of items. So let's say I'm creating a shopping list. Okay, so now in Word there are two ways of getting this done. So one, the easy way is you put a hyphen, okay, and you press tab. Okay, when you put a hyphen and when you press tab, it automatically converts into a bullet point. See, so this is the bullet points icon. Okay, see what happened. So when I put a hyphen and when I am pressing tab, look at this part. So this will automatically get activated. See, it automatically gets activated. So inside Word or any other word processor, now once we create a bullet point, now Word knows that I am in that bullet point, and it will continue the rest of the content in added into the bullet point. And let's say let's do bread, let's say butter, fish, see, jam. Okay, likewise, so all the points are added into the bullet point, since we are continuing it using the enter key. But how do you want to, like, if you want to stop this, it's quite straightforward. You press the backspace or the delete key in Mac, and see, immediately that's get deleted. And then when you press back a couple of times, you can go back to the indentation. Now here there's another point. Now when it comes to the uh, bullet points, they don't talk about this. I don't think they talk about it. No, right? No, you don't talk about that point. So when you click here, you can see on the top, on the ruler, see, you have a left indent by default injected, right? So you can actually click on this and you can move the text. Right? You can move the text. So that means, so if I select all, I can technically move the list like this. And whenever I add a new item, likewise, it will be all added into the list. Okay, so that is the indentation with the list module. Okay, now let's select all and let's see what are the options we get. So we get a lot of options when it comes to bullets. Number one is the bullet type. Okay, now you can either put none. So if If you put none, that means all the bullets are removed. But still, this is preserving the location. See, now if I add this back, still I'll have to move both. Okay, see, now it's moved. But now if I again add this, it's going to automatically switch the indentation. Okay, now that's how it works. Okay, so the first thing is we have a different set of bullet points. Sorry, the bullets. Okay, and you can actually click on define a new bullet also, and you can come up with some sort of a new different types of a bullet. You can put a picture if you want. Literally, you can put a picture like, let's say, a red squirrel. See, you can put a picture. Or oops, sorry, let's say define new bullet, and you can get a, let's say, I'll get something else, a pebble. Okay, a pebble, and you can actually increase the indentation from here. See, this is the same thing which I did using the ruler, right? See, it's the same thing I did with the ruler. Something like that. Okay, now that's about the bullets. So that's it actually with the bullets. If you can just put some bullet points. So the point next is about adding the next type of bullet. So this is the bullet or that not non numeric way. Now after that you can actually add a number. So the number is the same thing, but it's the other way in the icon, which is known as the numbering. So if you click on numbering, that will give you a certain set of numbers. So numbering also works in a similar way, where you get a certain set of numbers. So let's say certain type of numbers. Okay, so number one is the first default method is this one. Then you have this one where you have a parenthesis. You have Roman characters, as well as same as editing the bullet. You do have the option of editing and changing the numeric style as well. Say if you need to add some prefixes, let's say if you need to add a couple of zeros in front of this, you can do that too. Likewise. Okay, now you have a lot of options in this. Now the next thing is the nested lists. So the nested lists, they go into a little bit of a sub level. Okay, so for the nested lists, we have to follow a different path. So for that, what we need to do is we use the second option, which is this one, and here you can select the nested lists. So yeah, nothing happened, right? What happened was, now this is actually selected. So see, the nested list is actually selected, but we don't have a nesting, right? Now let's say if you want to add some details. Okay, so let's add a jam, but when I press the tab key, see what happens. Immediately the numbering continued, but a new set of tabs or indented content appeared inside. So let's say orange marmalade. Okay, and strawberry. Okay, fish, I don't know types of fish, but butter, let's say Astra. Right, guys. Okay, so that's how you get the second level. So here you have a couple of different types of levels as well. Huh? So what I went with this one, so this is with the one and a character. So if you want, you can go with this one as well. That would basically get into the second level. Or you can go with this, which will be a certain set of buttons. Or you can actually go with something like this also, where you will have actual list of titles and buttons. So you have lots and lots of different options too. You can actually check it out. So I'll go back to this one and then we'll try to fix this. Okay. So these are known as multi-level lists, and here you can actually define a new multi-level list also. See, you have the option of creating different types of lists. Okay, so that's the idea behind the main listing part. So in your book it shows you the bullets and numbering, but it doesn't go in depth with the listings. So that's how it works. So far, is it clear? How? What do you think? Any questions?
It's clear, sir.
You all, I hope you all
Okay.
already
Yeah.
have done this before, right? Okay, so let's give me 1 second. Word processing. There's a bit more to do. Okay. Perfect. So that's about the lists. Then we have the alignment. Okay. So the alignment is also, as the name implies, it's quite straightforward. You just need to make sure that your eyes are, uh, let's say, practiced to see this. Okay. So sorry. If you take something like this, so if I select this, and you can see by default the alignment is set to be starting from the left to right, right? That's the standard way of reading text, right? But then again, you have the option of center aligning and align to right, and the next one is justify. Okay, so justify, what it does is, now if you line this text to a side, see, now if this text is not completely reaching the end, if you click justify, what it will do is it will try to make sure, see, try to make sure the text is exactly um, exactly set in a proper way, so that the text will be aligned properly. Okay, so you do have three, like, couple of different icons for this, so but it all does the same. Okay, so left align, right align, center align, and justified. Okay, so try that out. That's how it works. And then we have the tabs. This is what I showed you guys earlier using the map locations. So whenever you tab away from a text, it would basically produce a standard spacing based on the indentation which is coming from the this thing itself, coming from the ruler. Okay, nice. Okay, so then we have line spacing. Line spacing, it's simple as the name implies. So this is the line spacing icon, and line spacing will basically give you the ability to set a certain space between the lines. Okay, so let's say if I increase it to 3, you can see it's a massive space. So usually the standard is, like, if you take university documents, the standard is either 1.15 or 1.5, right? So when this happens, it's actually easy to read. Okay, let me take some sample content. Lorem ipsum. So Lorem ipsum is a website where you generate some sample content. Lorem ipsum is the standard content we use when it comes to printing and all, so that you actually get a feel that this is an actual document. Okay, I know you can't read it. I also can't read it. This is some Latin, but then again, it will show you all the details. See. Okay, so just to check the alignment, you can now see how proper it will get aligned if you click the center line. See? Okay, so that's how it works, right? Okay, now the line height, which I wanted to show. So when you increase the line height, see how it works. Now it's a bit hard to read, no? But if you increase it, see how it changed. So now the readability increased drastically, right? Now it's extremely readable because of the spaces. At the same time, if the spaces are much more, then it again then now it becomes hard to read again because now it's too much space. This is too little, and usually this is the sweet spot. Okay, so that's why so the line spacing, what it does is it basically adjusts the space between two lines. Then we have this yeah yeah, so text wrap, as I explained to you before. So basically what word does is if the text cannot go, if if it doesn't have the enough space to put the text in, it will automatically move to the second line. That's how it works. So it wraps down and it will basically contain into a single screen, right? Okay, so then nice font formatting, colors simple as it is. So you go here, you select whatever the points, and then here you have the color icon. So you can click on the color icon. By default, a color is already selected, so usually it's the red color. And then you get the color picker. So this is known as the color picker, where you can actually set a predefined set of colors if you want. Okay, this is option number one. Or you can click more colors and you get a color circle with, either you can get the color the circle type of picker, or you can get a slider. See, you can get different sliders to come up with colors, or you have a certain set of predefined colors based on templates. See, web safe colors, crayons, developers. See, all sorts of colors are there. Or you can actually get the color spectrum. So you can get the spectrum and you can check the spectrum, as well as you can actually include a new file. So you can get a file and you can pick the colors from that particular file itself. So that is also an option. Okay, and then you have a certain set of um, pencil colors also you can select out of from. Okay, there's a massive lot of colors end of the day. So I'll pick something, I'll get the blue color, click on OK. Now you get the colors active. Okay, so in the colors, let me show you one more thing. Now here you do, where you get this click here and you click on more colors, and can you see this set of empty squares on the bottom? So technically these squares are to for you to pick some colors. Huh? So let's say I can click here. Okay, I can click on this color picker, this small color picker, and then see, now I am getting a color selector. So if I move my mouse over these, you can actually find out what are the colors which is there. See, okay, so what is this one? Now the paste icon. No? Okay. Let's try to pick the color from this particular block. Nice. Okay, so that is added, and you can actually drag that color and you can put into one of these blocks. Now let's say if I pick another color, let's pick this one. Now you can pull it out, you can put it into another block. So likewise, now you can save a certain set of colors into the document. Okay, and you can delete it as well by pressing the delete key. So now if I select this one and click OK, perfect, the color is set. And I'll ask this guy to shut up for 1 hour. Otherwise it's going to keep on highlighting the content. Okay, super. Okay, so that's about the colors. Then fonts and styles. Okay, so fonts and font sizes. So it's basically straightforward thing. You get the fonts available within the system. So if I click on this, and let's reset the color. So you can actually click on this automatic button. So when you click automatic, automatically the color gets changed. Okay, so let's select these colors and sorry, the text, and then when you click on font, you get a massive list of fonts. Okay, so this depends on your computer. So I do have certain set of fonts installed on my machine as well, like additional a lot of additional fonts, since I do some graphic designing work as well. So otherwise, by default, I don't think you might have this much of fonts in your laptop or Windows PC. But then again, so if I select a font, so let's say if I want this one, select it, nice, the font is changed. Okay, now I need to increase the font size. Quite straightforward. You click on the font size selector and you have the option to change it. So in the newer versions of Word, we do get these two instant increase options as well. So see, you can click on it and it will automatically increase the font size according to the position you have clicked. Okay, so that's how it basically lets you create the font size. Okay, let me make this smaller. Oh boy. No, 10.5, and let's check standard font. I have this colorboth also. Yeah, okay, we can keep that. Okay, so that's how that part works. There are multiple font sizes. So we have the 10, 12, and 14. So different sizes for different applications. Okay, so I think we did a lot for today. So, and it's actually the time to wrap this up and catch back again for another session, because what I thought was to basically finish this unit 6 at a whole, because as you guys can see, it's quite straightforward. So we just need to go through it and just you just need to practice it. That's all we need to try out. So my plan, okay, so we went through almost 2 hours about going through this word and the details. So let me jump back. Okay, so Nihin, any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay, make a simple ready.
Not so simple, but
Not so simple. I thought it's simple.
yeah, simple, but uh, there are some things also I don't know.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, obviously. So, so be careful. So, what I told you before also. So, um, most of the students, they take it too easy and they kind of tend to get low marks because they are overconfident වෙලා අන්තිමට වැඩ කරන්න යනවා. හරිද? Don't get overconfident thinking that this is very easy, because I know the theory is easy, but what happens is අපේ the people who are making the papers, they do all these things and they make the questions complicated. That's the thing. So I'll tell you a good point. So last year's A level paper, sorry, year not last year, 2023 A level paper, there was a question which had a picture of a point of sales machine. ඔය අපි කාගිල් ස්කිල්ස් වල තියෙන point of sale like machine එක. There was a picture of one of those machines, and the question was to identify the components on that machine, and it gave you 6 marks. Okay, so see, nothing to do with IT, and it's a 6-mark question. It's so easy. So what, there's nothing much to identify. The card scanner is there. There's a printer. There's a keyboard, and there are some peripherals here and there which will perform some activities, and that's it, no? Right? So that's why now. So now these papers also falls or follows that particular category of questions. So it gives you a specific case study, and following the case study, it moves on forward. Okay, so yeah, we don't have to rush this slot, but we do need to finish this module by end of next month or by beginning of March, so that we can actually so for the students who are doing the IGCSE this year, so for them we will be finishing this off, and then we can jump into papers and revision. So perfect. Okay. So thanks a lot for everything, and thanks for staying in the class and going through this. And please do watch the videos. And Dihan, can you can join the Friday class. So
Okay. At what time?
it's starting from 8 to, sorry, 6, 8 to 10, 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Do you have any classes by that time?
No, I have a class. It's stopping at 6.
Ah, okay, nice, perfect. Okay, I will send you the link. You can actually exit from this group, and you can join that one. Or if you want to stay in the group, perfectly fine. You can attend these classes as well, no problem.
Okay.
It's entirely up to you. Okay.
So the revision, we have revision class now, right?
Yeah, we do have a revision class, but what I thought was, now for you, I don't think it's practical for you to join the revision class by now, at this time. Man. You can actually join it by the time uh, from the time we start the next semester, next term basically. So
Okay.
you will be doing this until so sorry. Now you are in grade 10, no? So you will move to grade 11 in July, right?
11 May.
11 July ne deyanne. You will be.
They said 11 next year May.
Oh, huh? Next year ne.
Yeah.
When did you start it?
The last September.
Nah, hurry. You are doing the exam next year, me, no?
Yeah.
Hurry, ඒක තමයි. So that means you will be, so technically you will be going to the grade 11 this year, July.
Yeah.
Yeah, ඒක තමයි මං ඇහුවේ. Okay. So you'll
And
be.
the exam.
No, not the exam. Yeah, so you will be moving to grade 11 in this year July. So so by this year July, after this, so now this particular revision is focusing on this the current batch. So I will be starting another revision class in July back again. So you can join that.
Okay.
So I will be basically residing and going through all these things which we are currently focusing on. It will be a similar loop. As long as the syllabus hasn't changed, it will be the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so I will send you the link to join the Fridays group as well. So just jump out or stay in the group. That's perfectly fine. You can join the Friday group, and then we'll continue the discussions from there.